Welcome back to the University of Smooth. I am Nixon the Dark, your host, the internet's leading expert on unattractive behavior. Back with another in our series on what women value. This time, Dark Triad, a little mini series. Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. We'll have a few things to say on each of these. Why? Because we want to give you a bachelor's degree in being desirable. Narcissism. What is a narcissist? Let's go with something like egomaniac, a self-directed man, especially because we're speaking to men and how men can become more attractive. A self-directed man who at worst and in the most critical sense is only thinking of himself. So you're so self-involved, and that is supposed to be meant as a criticism, perhaps an insult, because you're not thinking of others. And it may even be fair. By the way, it may even be fair. Yet, women find this trait attractive. Women see appeal in men who are self-directed. There's something about the strength of a man who is going after what he wants in life that women find irresistible, perhaps, at least some men. And if they have certain values, that a man on a mission is narcissistic. He may not be as sacrificial as his peers. However, there is a little bit of fuzzy logic in what sacrifice is necessary. What sacrifice does a man need to have for those around him? And also, if a man is self-directed and he is building value, that is, he is building his attractiveness up, whether it's in terms of his body, his finances, his direction in life, that kind of man, the kind of man who has value, if he's capable of sacrifice, that sacrifice is worth more than somebody who just goes around so-called selflessly giving and giving and giving to others. And by the way, when people do that, it's very difficult to deal without expecting something in return. It's always going to lead to frustration. A healthy dose of narcissism, a healthy dose of what do I want and what am I here to pursue? What kind of value can I build for myself goes a long way. My cat's back there, very narcissistic. They're in it for themselves. I sacrifice so much for them, I swear. Understand as well that narcissism is a convenient label when things seem to go wrong. It's a convenient label to slap on to a person or a situation when they're just not going the way you want. It seems like a lot of women, and by the way, men do this too, label their exes as narcissists. If you're talking about a clinical term, you're into standard deviation territory and you can't all be narcissists. Do we have a culture of narcissism? Perhaps. I mean, social media might suggest that there's rampant narcissism. However, there should be in your life rampant building of your own value and accepting that some people may call you narcissistic for doing this. And if you ever have this doubt, like maybe I should be more sacrificial, we are not instructing anybody to build value exclusively for themselves and to the exclusion of everybody else. We're talking about you prioritizing your value in part because you have not done it enough. You haven't done it to the appropriately healthy degree in your life to this point. And so it's important for you to go out there and build that value and accept that when you do that, some people will call you narcissistic for it. By the way, there's certain women who will call you narcissist the biggest fucking shit-eating grin on their faces because they want to be in the narcissistic asshole business. We're here to discuss female desire, and sometimes these labels are not all that convenient. And I don't like the idea of something that is perceived to be an insult in our culture, calling somebody a narcissist, being so heavily correlated with female attraction and arousal. It suggests that women are wrong for finding this type of trait, or at least the qualities that are under the surface of this trait attractive. Is there something wrong with them because they find a strong self-directed man to be attractive, even though certain other envious individuals in our society may label them narcissistic, you may be suggesting the wrong thing about these women who find this type of man attractive and arousing. You have to examine your own toxic relationship with women if you trot out a label like this. This is a heavy theme that we'll be discussing in Dark Triad. It's not an endorsement of quote unquote bad behavior. It's a questioning of how bad a behavior truly is and who's doing the label. Always keep that in mind when words like this that could mean anything get trotted out. And always focus on your own value. People who want a valuable man will either not care that he's narcissistic, kind of like that about him, especially if they find him attractive, or they'll understand that value transcends these petty little, well, I kind of wish he had done it a little more my way. I wish he was a little more humble about it. I wish he was a little more selfless. Yeah, that's all fine and good, but it's life. It's hard. You have to go out there and get your own value. Nobody else is going to build value for you. You will build it for yourself. We're here to help. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and follow you for more content.